The wind howled over the dry moon surface. Dust flew like tiny knives, scratching old rocks and rusted ship parts. Leo Varn, a human mechanic in his late 30s, walked slowly toward the mouth of a dark cave. His boots crunched over broken metal and cracked bones. He carried a small light on his shoulder and a heavy backpack full of tools. His ship, the Rust Hopper, was parked miles away, hidden in a crater. He was here for scrap. Nothing more. This moon was long abandoned. Once a battlefield. Now a graveyard, but Leo had a feeling, not just luck. Something pulled him here. As he stepped into the cave, the air changed. It was colder. Still. Too still. He moved deeper inside. His light flickered across the walls, covered in black vines and strange carvings. The ground felt uneven under his feet. Then suddenly he stopped. His light hit something. Huge. A body. But not human. It lay curled against the far wall of the cave. A massive creature, at least 30 feet long. It had thick armor-like scales, deep black with hints of silver. Its wings were folded but damaged. One was broken in 3 places. Its horns were cracked. Its tail had chains wrapped around it, and its eyes were shut. Leo's heart pounded. He had read stories of dragon predators, alien war beasts created thousands of years ago by the Empress of Zathar. But most were long extinct, hunted, killed, or destroyed. This one looked dead. Almost. Leo took a careful step forward. His scanner beeped once, then again, faint life signs. He blinked. "You're still alive?" he whispered. The creature didn't move. Leo crouched beside it. He saw metal tubes fused into its chest. Ancient alien tech. Wires burned deep into muscle. Symbols etched across its body, glowing faint blue. One word repeated over and over. Useless. Leo frowned. What the hell did they do to you? He opened his bag and pulled out a power probe. He slid it under one of the tubes and tapped twice. Sparks jumped. A low pulse answered. The dragon's eye flicked. Leo froze. Just one. Flick. Then stillness again. But he saw it. A second later, the creature made a sound. Not a roar. Not a growl. Just a deep, broken breath. Still breathing, Leo whispered. He looked around. There were more symbols on the wall, carved in alien script and blood. He ran a scan. Translation popped up. For mercy, it was silenced. For weakness, it was broken. Let it live forever, ashamed and powerless. Leo sat back slowly. This wasn't a monster. It was a prisoner, and someone wanted it to suffer for eternity. He looked at the chains, rusted but strong, alien steel. Leo stood and looked at the beast's face again. There was sadness even in its sleep. A heavy feeling grew in Leo's chest. He wasn't just a junk scavenger. He had been a soldier once. He had seen what war does, how power breaks the strong, and how some never recover. He reached out, hesitant, but placed a hand on the beast's neck. Its skin was cold, but not dead. "I don't know who you were," Leo said softly. "But nobody deserves this." He grabbed his tool pack and walked to the fusion tubes. He didn't come here to be a hero. But sometimes, the universe chooses you. He sparked the first weld. Metal hissed. The dragon twitched. Leo didn't stop. Far, far above the moon, in a sealed palace floating in space, an ancient machine blinked to life. A red light pulsed. An old monitor displayed. Alien words. Subject Vrakthar, neural system rebooting. The Empress's descendants had forgotten the vault, but the vault had not forgotten them. Leo woke up next to the dragon the next morning. He hadn't planned to stay the night, but once he saw the metal in the creature's body, twisted, old tech jammed into its chest like rusty nails, he couldn't walk away. This was no wild beast. This was someone's project, someone's punishment. Leo stood and stretched. His back ached from sleeping on the stone floor. The air in the cave was dry but filled with something like old energy, as if the walls remembered. The dragon still didn't move, but now its eyes were open. Barely, just enough to watch him. "Morning," Leo said quietly. "I don't know if you understand me, but I'm here to help." The creature blinked once. Leo pulled out a small scanner from his pack and waved it over the creature's head, then neck, then down toward the tubes in its chest. The readings shocked him. What the? The internal structure wasn't organic. Not completely. There were energy coils, servo joints, and coolant veins all wrapped inside scales and flesh. The dragon's heart was part reactor. "You're part machine." The dragon closed its eyes again, as if ashamed. Leo sat on a nearby crate and opened his portable log pad. He began recording. Entry number 1, found what I believe is a Zetharian, war beast. Part cybernetic, part biological. Deeply modified. Something suppressing its inner energy core. Possibly intentional. He glanced at the tubes again. The label on one of them read, "Core vent locked. Order of Empress." Hours passed. Leo didn't leave. He set up a small power station near the dragon's head, repaired a few loose wires, scanned the power flow lines across the creature's chest. Then, the dragon spoke. Not clearly, not loudly, but it spoke. "Why? Touch me?" Leo jumped back. The voice was deep, metallic, and filled with pain. "You can talk?" Leo whispered. "Once, I roared." "What happened?" The dragon's lips didn't move, but the voice echoed inside Leo's mind. "She took my fire. She called it mercy." Leo frowned. "Who did this to you?" "The Empress. I disobeyed. I refused to burn the innocent, so she removed my flame. She made me her warning." Leo was silent for a moment. Then he said, "That's not mercy. That's fear." That night, Leo opened the dragon's side panel, the one welded shut with alien seals. Inside, he found a crystal, black, cracked, and barely glowing. It pulsed once when he touched it, and then a spark. A memory. Leo saw images, flashes of the dragon flying above cities, fire in its mouth, power in its wings. Then, chains, screaming. Darkness. The crystal was not just power, it was memory. "This is your heart, isn't it?" Leo said softly. "This is your fire." The dragon didn't answer, so Leo placed the crystal in his lap and whispered, "If I can fix this, will you fight again?" A long silence. Then, "No." Leo looked up. "No? I will not burn again." Leo nodded slowly. "Then maybe we'll find another way." The dragon turned its eyes toward him. "You fix me, but you do not want a weapon." Leo smiled faintly. "No, I just hate seeing something broken, when it deserves to fly." Outside the cave, the stars blinked, and far above them, in the throne room of the new Empress of Zathar, a red light blinked again. An officer approached. "Your Highness, the useless one, is awake." The Empress turned slowly, her eyes cold. "Send the signal. No one touches what belongs to me." The rain outside the cave was soft, almost musical. Inside, Leo worked quietly with a laser torch in his hand. Sparks flew as he cut through another seal embedded in the dragon's back, just beneath the wings. Metal hissed. Scales twitched. But the dragon didn't flinch. He had stopped reacting to pain long ago. Leo set the tool down. "You've got scars under your armor," he said softly. The dragon's eye slid open. Its voice, still echoing in Leo's mind, was dull and heavy. "They are marks, reminders." "Of what?" "That I failed." Leo frowned. "Failed who?" "Her." "The Empress?" The dragon didn't respond for a moment. Then it whispered, "The children." Leo froze. He wiped his hands on a cloth and sat down beside the beast's massive head. What children? On Darnax 7, the Empress ordered me to burn the rebel nest. But there were no rebels, just civilians, younglings. You disobeyed. Yes, I refused to breathe fire. I laid down. I waited for death. Leo's voice softened, and instead, she kept you alive. To shame me. She made my story a warning. Useless, weak, unworthy. Leo looked at the damaged spine core, still flickering blue beneath the skin, but you did the right thing. The dragon turned its head slightly, the chains rattling faintly. Dragons do not question. We obey. She made me. She broke me. She owns me. No, Leo said, standing. Not anymore. He placed a warm coil over the broken spine and began the relinking process. You're not a tool, not a weapon. You chose mercy over orders. That doesn't make you weak. It makes you more. The dragon didn't speak again for a long time, but one tear rolled from its eye and fell to the ground with a soft splash. Later, as night settled deeper over the moon, Leo lit a small campfire just outside the cave. The dragon crawled toward the entrance, slowly, carefully. The old chain still held, but loose enough to move. For the first time, Leo saw the full body in the firelight, and it was majestic, even broken, even wounded, even fireless. Leo tossed a piece of dried meat to the creature. Not sure if you eat this kind of thing. The dragon sniffed, nudged it aside, and instead lowered its head toward the fire. I miss warmth, it whispered. My breath used to light whole valleys. We'll get it back, Leo said. Why do you care? Leo stared into the flames. Because I lost someone once too, and I couldn't save her. Maybe, just maybe, I can save you. Suddenly the fire flickered blue. Leo blinked. The dragon's chest glowed faintly. For just a second, a low hum rose from its throat like a purr. I think we just activated a forgotten system, Leo said, smiling. You lit something inside me, the dragon answered, almost shyly. A spark I thought was gone. But far in orbit, in a dark warship cloaked above the moon, eyes were watching. A transmission blinked across a cold screen. Reactor signature detected. Unit Vrakthar recharging. Human interference confirmed. Orders? Asked the soldier. The Empress's voice came cold as frost. Begin descent. Bring me the traitor, and the fool who fixed him. Back on the ground, the dragon looked to the stars. And for the first time in 2,000 years, it whispered something to itself. I remember what it felt like. To hope. High above the moon, far from light, a shadow moved across the stars. The warship Thornspike broke from cloaking. It had slept for centuries in orbit, following an ancient failsafe program. But now, it stirred. Deep in its metal belly, a screen came alive. Subject Vrakthar. Core stabilizing. The AI blinked twice, then sent a signal. The signal reached Zathar Prime in seconds. In the grand throne chamber of the new Empress, everything stopped. She stood tall, her crown glowing with red light. Her skin was like polished stone, and her eyes glowed with cold fire. Her servants fell silent. Her generals froze mid-breath. One word appeared on her floating console. The useless one lives. The Empress narrowed her eyes. Impossible. His flame was sealed, his shame eternal. Her voice was soft but dangerous. Who broke his chains? A soldier stepped forward and said, a human. A mechanic. The Empress raised an eyebrow. One of the Dirtborn? Yes, my Empress, he is repairing the dragon. She did not scream, she only smiled, but her eyes promised war. Send the silencers, wipe them both from existence. Back on the moon, Leo stood at the cliff's edge. The sun Wind was stronger now. Storm clouds circled far away, but in the distance something else glowed. A falling star. No, not a star. A ship. Leo turned to the dragon. We have incoming. Vrakthar lifted his head slowly. She knows. She sent someone? No, she sent them. Leo didn't ask who them meant. The dragon's voice had turned cold. The silencers, not soldiers, not beasts, just death wrapped in armor. Leo rushed back into the cave and started packing up tools. We need to move. Now. The dragon lowered his head. I can't fly yet. My wings are still. Then, we find another way. Leo grabbed his scanner, opened a hidden map, and pointed. There's an old mining shaft near the southern ridge. If we can reach it, we can collapse the tunnels behind us. Vrakthar looked unsure. I can fight. No, Leo said sharply. You're not ready. If you die now, everything we did is wasted. The dragon blinked, then nodded. As they moved out, the sky behind them lit up. 3 black ships pierced through the clouds. No sound, no signal, just presence. From the largest one, 3 figures dropped to the ground, tall, silver-armored, and faceless. They walked like shadows, tracking heat, tracking fear. One turned its head toward the mountain cave and smiled beneath its mask. Leo and the dragon reached the ridge. Behind them, trees began to turn black. Birds flew from the forest. Even the ground pulsed once, as if afraid. Leo looked back. They're close. They were never far, the dragon whispered. Leo pulled out a detonator. If they get close, we bring the cave down. Will it stop them? No, Leo said, but it'll slow them and buy us time. Suddenly, the air split. One of the silencers dropped in front of them, tall, glowing with white plasma. Leo raised his blaster, fired 3 times. Nothing. The shots bounced off the figure's armor. The silencer stepped forward, but before it could strike, Vrakthar roared not with fire, but with power. The ground cracked. The silencer paused. Just a moment too long. Leo fired again, this time into the ground below it. The rock shattered, and the silencer fell into the shaft below. Leo turned to the dragon. You still got some fight in you. Only when needed, Vrakthar said. Only for you. Leo felt a chill, but not from fear, from something else. Loyalty. Behind them, more enemies came, but Leo grabbed the dragon's chain, snapped the old locking pin, and yelled, "Let's go!" They disappeared into the shaft. As they ran, explosions echoed behind them. The past was coming, but this time they would not go quietly. The underground shaft was dark, full of old machines and dust. Leo moved fast, flashlight on his shoulder, breath short. Behind him, the great dragon followed, limping, tired, but still alive. Each tunnel felt older than the stars. Rusty pipes groaned under their feet. Somewhere above, the silencers searched the cliffs. We're close, Leo said. Just a little more. Vrakthar said nothing. His eyes were dim, and one wing dragged behind him like a shadow. He wasn't just tired. He was empty. They reached an old mining station, a round chamber with a power core still flickering in the middle. Dust floated like snow. Leo dropped his pack. This is it, he said. My last idea. He opened a black case. Inside was a strange orb, half organic, half machine. Red veins pulsed softly around it. The dragon's eyes widened. That's forbidden tech. Yeah, Leo said. I stole it years ago. Never thought I'd use it. What does it do? Leo stepped closer to the dragon and looked him in the eyes. It can restart your flame, rebuild your fire. Core, you'll be whole again. Wings, breath, power, everything. The dragon lowered his head. And the cost? It'll hurt, Leo said. A lot. And if you accept it, you won't be what you were. You'll be more. The chamber fell silent. Only the hum of the orb filled the air. Vrakthar looked down at his chained limbs, his cracked horn, his burned chest. She made me a monster once, then made me useless. If I take this, what do I become? Leo answered, simply. Free. Vrakthar growled softly, then stretched his neck forward. Do it. Leo placed the orb against the dragon's chest. It sank into the flesh like fire into snow. Suddenly, light exploded. The dragon screamed, not in rage, but pain. The walls shook, sparks flew, his chest lit up with old runes, bright gold this time, not cursed blue. Hold on, Leo shouted. The dragon's body lifted from the ground. Chains broke, old scales cracked and fell away. From his throat came a low rumble. Building, deeper, louder. Then, a roar that shook the mountain. Outside, the silencers stopped. They turned toward the rocks above them, and the Empress, watching from her command screen far away, leaned forward. No, it can't be. Back inside, Vrakthar stood tall, new wings spread wide, smooth, dark steel blending with natural flesh. His eyes now glowed like burning stars, and in his chest, the fire burned bright again. He looked at Leo. I remember what I am. Leo smiled. Then let's remind the galaxy. A deep sound echoed from the tunnel behind them. Footsteps. The silencers had found the shaft. Leo picked up his weapon, but before he could aim, Vrakthar stepped in, front of him. No more hiding. The dragon opened his mouth, and for the first time in 2,000 years the fire came back. A white-hot wave of flame filled the tunnel. The silencers turned to ash. Leo stared in awe. That was beautiful. The dragon turned slightly. I was never built to destroy. I was built to protect. She just never let me. Leo nodded slowly. Well now, she can try and stop you. Far away on her throne of obsidian glass, the Empress stood alone. The stars outside her window burned red. Her guards waited silently, expecting her to give another order to crush the traitor dragon and the human who fixed him. But she said just 2 words. Send him. The guard stiffened. Even the air in the chamber felt colder. But, Your Majesty, he was retired. He lives in exile. She turned her head, slowly. He trained the beast. Now he will end him. On the edge of a forgotten moon, in a frozen temple of ice and ash. The blade opened his eyes. His body was wrapped in old armor made of starlight and silence. He wore no crown, no name. He had trained the strongest dragons. He had killed the greatest warriors, and once, he had called Vrakthar his student. Now, he was called upon to become his executioner. Back in the mining tunnels, Leo worked on sealing. The north passage, Vrakthar stood outside the chamber staring at the stars again. His wings moved gently in the wind, but something felt wrong. A presence moved toward them. No sound, no heat, no footsteps, just pressure, like the air holding. Its breath. Leo walked over. You feel it too? The dragon didn't answer at first, then, he's here. Who? The first blade, my master, my teacher, my mirror. And now he wants to kill you? No. He wants to test if I deserve to live. The wind shifted, and from the shadows, a figure emerged, tall, silent. Blade across his back. Eyes like broken suns. You fly again, little one, he said in a quiet, sad voice. And you still walk alone? Vrakthar replied. She sent me, the blade said. I know. Will you run? Not this time. Then show me your fire. Leo stepped forward worried. Do we fight him? Vrakthar looked back. No, I do. Leo lowered his weapon. Don't die. The dragon gave a small smile. Not before I burn bright. The battle began without a sound. No war cry. No warning. Just speed. The blade moved like light, cutting through air, striking with fireless force. But Frakthar had changed. He dodged. He countered. He rose into the sky with new wings and roared. The Ia. Very earth trembled. The fight was not just with claws and blades, it was with memories. Each strike held a lesson, each block, a regret. You were my greatest creation, the blade shouted, clashing in midair. You taught me strength, the dragon replied. But Leo taught me choice. They crashed to the ground. Smoke rose, wings folded, swords cracked. Both stood again, bruised, breathing. Hard, and then the blade dropped his weapon. Leo watched in confusion. What's he doing? He asked. Frakthar didn't move. The blade took off his mask. His face was old, tired, lined with sorrow. She sent me to kill you, he said, but I wanted to see if you had become more than a beast. He looked at Leo. And you, human. You gave him something none of us ever did. What's that? Leo asked. A soul. He turned away. Fly, Frakthar. Fly before she sends something worse. Leo blinked. Worse? The blade looked up. She won't stop now. She'll come herself. Frakthar lowered his head in respect. Thank you, Master. No, the blade said. Thank you for proving I wasn't wrong to believe in you. He disappeared into the mist, and for a moment, the stars felt closer. The sky of Zathar Prime had never seen fire. Until now. Two shadows flew over the horizon. One was a ship, old but fast. The other, a dragon reborn in flame and fury. Inside the ship, Leo checked the coordinates. We're headed straight for her palace. On his side, Frakthar flew like thunder. His wings stretched wide, his chest glowing with fire that hadn't burned in 2,000 years. She won't expect you to come to her, Leo said. She always thought I'd run, the dragon answered. Not today. Down below, towers of glass and steel pierced the clouds. At the very top stood the Empress, wrapped in dark robes. Her golden crown hummed with cruel energy. She watched them approach. Her generals panicked. Her warships rose, but she simply smiled. Let him come. She raised one hand. Hundreds of defense cannons lit the sky. Missiles incoming, Leo shouted. But Frakthar didn't slow down. He roared, and fire exploded from his mouth. The flames twisted, melted rockets, mid-air, blinded scanners, and broke the front line of defense. Leo launched counterjammers from the ship. A direct hit missed them by meters. This is madness, Leo yelled. No, the dragon growled. This is justice. They smashed through the palace shield. Frakthar landed on the royal platform with a crash. Marble cracked. Guards rushed forward. Laser rifles, plasma lances, powered armor. Frakthar swept his tail once. 10 soldiers flew across the courtyard, like leaves. Leo landed behind him. The throne doors opened, and she stood there, the Empress, radiant, deadly, unmoved. So the traitor returns, she said softly. I returned as who I should have been, Frakthar replied. She laughed. You were nothing but fire and obedience. I shaped you. And then you threw me away. Because you were weak. No, Leo said, stepping beside the dragon. He was strong enough to disobey you. That makes him more than you ever. Where the Empress raised her hand. You dare speak in my presence, human? I do more than speak, Leo said and pressed a button on his wrist. All across the city, screens turned on. Every citizen, every soldier, every child watched. They'll all see what you did, Leo said. The lies, the exile, the genocide. And they'll see your fall, the Empress screamed, her crown lit with power. She rose into the air, wings of energy bursting from her back. You want fire, dragon? I am flame. She fired a beam of pure energy toward Frakthar, but this time he didn't dodge. He opened his mouth and let the ancient fire within him answer. Two powers met mid-air. The blast rocked the palace. Statues cracked. Towers shook, light and fire clashed until the sky turned white. Then, silence. When the smoke cleared, the Empress was on her knees, her crown shattered, her robes burned. Vrakthar stood tall, wings glowing, eyes burning, breath steady. "You never deserved a throne," he said. She looked up, weak. "Then kill me." He stepped back. "No, I'm not your monster anymore." "Then what are you?" He looked toward Leo. "Free." The citizens watched and cheered. Soldiers dropped their weapons. The Empress fainted, and history changed. Later, as the twin suns rose over a new world, Leo and Vrakthar stood at the edge of a cliff. "So, what now?" Leo asked. "I fly." "Alone?" "No," the dragon said. "Wherever you go, I follow. You gave me more than fire." He looked to the stars. "You gave me purpose." Leo smiled. "And you gave me the best damn story I'll ever tell."